If you're anything like me, there was a time when Thursday night meant one thing. You'd settle in, the piano would start, and for half an hour you were sitting in a bar in Boston with people who felt like friends. Cheers ran for 11 years. That's a long time to love a place that wasn't real. The people who made it real have stories you haven't heard yet. And maybe that's why it still matters. Cheers wasn't about a bar. It was about belonging. So let's walk back in and find out where they all went. I'd love to know who you watched Cheers with. A parent? A roommate? Maybe just yourself after a long day. Those memories are what this channel is built on. Share yours as we go. And we'll start with a voice you'd recognize anywhere. The one that could cut through every argument in that bar without even trying. That voice, sharp, fast, and never once afraid. Carla Tortelli didn't walk into a room, she took it over. And for a lot of us, she was the reason we kept coming back. She said the things we wished we could say. She was tiny and fierce, and somehow made rudeness feel like love. Rhea Perlman was 34 when Cheers began. She won 4 Emmy Awards for Carla. 4. More than anyone else on the show. Over 11 seasons, she appeared in every single episode. Only 2 other cast members can say the same. After Cheers, she gave us Mrs. Wormwood in Matilda, a film that found a whole new generation of fans. In 2023, she played Ruth Handler, the creator of Barbie, in Greta Gerwig's blockbuster. And just last year, she turned up in Poker Face Season 2, still sharp as ever. Today at 78, Rhea Perlman is aging with incredible grace. She's still legally married to Danny DeVito since 1982. They met in 1971, separated amicably in 2017, but remain very close friends and family. Some things just hold. It's a little-known fact, and just like that, you knew Cliff Clavin was about to say something completely wrong with total confidence. He was the mailman who knew everything, or thought he did, and somehow that made him one of the most lovable people on the show. Here's the thing. Cliff wasn't in the original script. John Ratzenberger auditioned for Norm, didn't get it, and on his way out asked the creators, "Do you have a bar know-it-all?" They didn't. So he improvised one right there. Cliff Clavin was born in 5 minutes. After Cheers, Ratzenberger became Pixar's good luck charm. He voiced Ham the Piggy Bank in every Toy Story film, including this year's Toy Story 5. He's been in nearly every Pixar movie ever made. Today at 79, time has only deepened his elegance. He lives in Connecticut, once co-founded an eco-friendly packaging company, and still delivers those trademark one-liners on Cameo. But another character on this show almost didn't survive past a single episode either. There are more faces ahead, and some of them carry stories this bar could never contain. There was a moment, almost every episode, where Coach would look at someone with complete confusion and somehow say exactly the right thing. He didn't understand the joke. He was the joke, and he was also the kindest person in the room. Nicholas Colasanto was 58 when he took the role. He'd already directed over 100 television episodes. Columbo, Bonanza. He was a decorated Navy veteran preparing to retire. Then Coach came along. By the 3rd season, his health was failing. He hid it from everyone. He tucked cue cards beneath the bar to remember his lines. He never complained. He just wanted to stay. Colasanto was 61 when he passed away in 1985. In his dressing room, he'd kept a photograph of Geronimo as a good luck charm. After he was gone, the cast hung it on the wall of the bar. It stayed there for 8 more years. What happened to that photo in the final scene of Cheers is a moment you'll want to stay for. Before she ever set foot in that bar, Shelley Long was winning national debate championships in Indiana. She could argue anyone into the ground. So when she showed up as Diane Chambers, that stubborn brilliance wasn't acting. It was just her. Diane was the outsider. Too smart for the room, too proud to admit she needed it. And yet, she belonged more than anyone. For viewers, she was proof that being different didn't mean being alone. Long won an Emmy for her work in the very first season. 2 Golden Globes followed before she left after season 5. When she walked away, nobody was sure Cheers could survive without her. She starred in Troop Beverly Hills and both Brady Bunch films. Years later, she returned as Dee Dee Pritchett on Modern Family, reminding audiences she'd never lost her timing. Today, at 76, she still carries the same spark we remember. She's stepped back from the spotlight, but the mark she left on that bar never faded. And the question of who would take her place, that answer came with a blonde wig and a lot of nerve. Replacing someone beloved is one of the hardest things an actor can do. Kirstie Alley did it with a move nobody saw coming. At her very first table read, she walked in wearing a blonde Shelley Long wig. The room went silent. Then it broke open with laughter. She had them from that moment. Rebecca Howe wasn't Diane. She wasn't supposed to be. Rebecca was ambitious and messy, always one step from falling apart. That honesty made her matter. She showed viewers that not having it together was perfectly human. Allie was 36 when she joined in season 6. She won an Emmy and a Golden Globe in 1991. Before the bar, she'd already played Lieutenant Saavik in Star Trek. After it, she led the Look Who's Talking films and her own series, Veronica's Closet. She was 71 when she passed away in December 2022 after a brief illness. She faced it privately, surrounded by family. Ted Danson said she came in like a ball of fire. That fire never really went out. If these names are bringing something back for you, I'm right there with you. There's still so much ahead. If this channel feels like somewhere you belong, stay a while. I'd love to hear what Cheers meant to you. What do you do with a character who was only meant to appear once? If you're Bebe Neuwirth, you make her unforgettable. Lilith showed up in season 4 for a single episode. The audience wouldn't let her go. She stayed for 8 seasons and won 2 Emmy Awards. Since Cheers, Neuwirth has won 2 Tony Awards. She's the only actress to play all 3 female leads in Chicago on Broadway. Last year, she starred in Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club to another Tony nomination. At 67, she wears every year beautifully, still commanding every room she enters. The kid who walked into that bar next was only 24. Nobody expected what he'd become. He was 24 years old. That's how young Woody Harrelson was when he walked onto a set full of veterans and had to replace someone the audience already loved. Coach was gone. The bar needed someone. And this kid from Texas showed up with a grin so genuine, it hurt to look away. Woody Boyd wasn't clever. He wasn't sharp. He was simply good. In a room built on sarcasm, that goodness held everything together. Harrelson won an Emmy for the role. Then he became one of Hollywood's most respected actors. 3 Oscar nominations, No Country for Old Men, The Hunger Games, True Detective. The range was staggering. This year, he's voicing a role in Animal Farm and filming a new Netflix thriller. He also co-hosts a podcast with someone from this very list. Their reunion behind a microphone is a story all its own. At 64, he radiates the same warmth decades later. The kid grew up. The goodness never left. One of the longest-running characters in American television history. Kelsey Grammer first played Frasier Crane in 1984. He was still playing him 40 years later. That's not a role. That's a second life. Frasier was the psychiatrist who couldn't fix himself. Pompous, lonely, and deeply human underneath it all. He was the friend who tried too hard. For millions, that made him impossible not to love. Grammer won 4 Emmys and 2 Golden Globes across Cheers and the Frasier spin-off. He voiced Sideshow Bob, starred on Broadway in Sweeney Todd. In 2023, he brought Frasier back for a revival that ran 2 seasons. Though Paramount Plus canceled the series in early 2025, Kelsey remains confident a 3rd season will eventually find a new home. Here's something most people don't know. He and Ted Danson didn't speak for nearly 30 years. Recently, they reconnected. What came from that conversation leads us to the last face in this story. At 71, he's more striking now than ever. 4 decades, 1 character, still not finished. And now, the man who turned off the lights. The one who was there from the very first pour to the very last call. Close your eyes and picture him. Leaning on the bar, towel over his shoulder. That half smile that said he knew exactly what you were thinking. Sam Malone wasn't just a character. He was the reason you walked in every Thursday. Ted Danson was 34 when Cheers began. Sam was charming on the outside and broken underneath. A former ball player who'd lost his career. He never had it figured out. And that's why we trusted him. He made being flawed look forgivable. Danson appeared in every single episode. 2 Emmys, 3 Golden Globes. The series finale drew 80 million viewers. And in the very last scene, Sam walked through the empty bar alone. He straightened a small photograph on the wall. The Geronimo picture, the one that belonged to Coach. Then he turned off the lights. After Cheers, he never stopped. The Good Place gave him a second beloved role. In 2025, he received the Carol Burnett Award at the Golden Globes and the Bob Hope Humanitarian Award at the Emmys, alongside his wife, Mary Steenburgen. His Netflix series, A Man on the Inside, just got renewed for a 3rd season. He and Woody Harrelson now co-host a podcast called Where Everybody Knows Your Name. He also reconnected with Kelsey Grammer after 30 years of silence. No cameras, just 2 men who shared a bar finding their way back. At 78, Ted Danson carries his story in every line. Still working, still showing up, still the last one to turn off the lights. But we can't close this story without the man who never needed an entrance. He just sat down, and the whole bar said his name. George Wendt appeared in every single episode of Cheers. Norm was the constant. He didn't do anything remarkable. He just showed up. That was enough. Wendt left us on May 20th, 2025, at 76. That was the exact same day the finale aired in 1993. 32 years apart. As if the bar had saved him a seat, His wife, Bernadette, voiced Vera, the woman we never saw but always felt. Just like Norm now, gone from the frame, never from the room. 11 seasons, 10 lives, one bar that somehow held all of it. Cheers wasn't perfect, neither were they. That's exactly why it felt like home. The piano is still playing somewhere. Coach is still smiling. Carla is still winning every argument. And Norm's stool is still warm. So let me ask you this. When you hear that theme song, where do you go? Who's sitting beside you? I'd love to read your memory in the comments. There are more stories like this one waiting, more faces, more living rooms we used to know. Until next time, take care of that memory.